Hello everyone, this is Fred from the Safety Department. Hope everyone's doing well today. It's that time again where we have to talk about some safety items. And before we get started though, I wanted to let you know we recently had a claim review with our insurance broker. And our number of claims both from workers' compensation and collisions is down over the past year during 2020. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone for working safe and helping us get our numbers reduced. We really do appreciate that. We're coming up on our insurance renewal, and those type of results are what will help drive our insurance costs down and help us maintain good insurance moving forward for the year ahead. As always, we've got a number of topics that we want to review, some good reminders. We'll also have some conversations with some other people, including George Boone, who's new in fleet maintenance, Robert Crawford, and Chad Norris. So please stay tuned to hear some of their commentary on some new trucks we have coming on board and some maintenance items. I'd like to start off talking to you about hours of service. As you know, hours of service violations are an important thing. It's monitored by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And it's important that we're obeying those regulations at all times. Some of those regulations changed at the end of September in 2020. And particularly the new split sleeper berth provision is something that can help us gain extra time while we're driving, but also can be a problem if we don't utilize it properly and can lead to a violation. So I just want to remind you to be careful when you're using the sleeper berth pair on your Qualcomm, and make sure you're adhering to the 8-hour, the 10-hour, 11-hour rules, as well as the 14-hour day. Those things are very important. And we've got excellent scores right now on our hours of service with the FMCSA, and we certainly want to keep it that way. Your Qualcomm will always tell you and give you a warning when you're getting to a point where you're going to be running out of hours. It's going to give you an alert 1 hour prior to a violation for 11 or 14 hours. It'll give you another alert at 30 minutes prior, 15 minutes prior, and then when you're going into violation. So make sure you're paying good attention to your Qualcomm and that you understand that you need to find a safe place to park before you reach a violation status. Also involved with hours of service is the use of personal conveyance. Personal conveyance is a great tool when you're off duty to allow you to go get something to eat during your rest time. But we do have a lot of instances where personal conveyance is not properly used. Personal conveyance is not allowed to extend your workday. You cannot extend your 11 hours driving or your 14-hour day by switching to personal conveyance. When you have drive time or on-duty time available and are using that, you cannot switch to PC in order to go find a place to park. You need to go ahead and find that safe parking area prior to your time running out. Now the exception to that, which we all know the rule is if you're at a customer, a shipper, or a receiver, and they have held you up and you've exceeded your time, then you're allowed to PC from that customer to an area where you can park safely to get your next rest break of 10 hours. So please be aware of that. Let's make sure we're using personal conveyance properly and taking advantage of it, but also using it in a way that will keep us from having any additional violations. Final thoughts on log violations and hours of service. Glenna continually checks those every day and week. The reports come in from the Qualcomm system. When she calls you, I just want to remind you that she's just doing her job, making sure that you're aware of things that have come up, things that have shown a violation. And the purpose of the call is to hopefully coach and train you and help you get to the point where you better understand and we can avoid those kind of violations in the future. So please continue to work with Glenna, and she'll be glad to work with you so that we can make sure we're improving and moving forward on hours of service. Let's talk about OS&D for a few minutes. OS&D is always a topic that comes up that we review. It's important to remember to review your bill of ladings once you've completed a delivery. The bill of lading sometimes is not the easiest to read. Sometimes customers don't mark them as well as we'd like. Sometimes there's multiple pages and you have to dig through. And we understand that, but we want you to take that few minutes and make sure you properly review those to look for any exceptions at time of delivery. It's important for us to report OS&D timely and accurately to our shippers. And we have a 24-hour window to do such. And when you can get that information in properly to us, it's a big help. We were able to deny over 65% of our claims last year, and that's in claims dollars. We had reported properly, people would file a claim, and we were able to go back and show where we did the proper reporting and saved, like I said, 65% of the dollars that were filed against us on claims. Remember, we need good information on the Qualcomm message. We need to know the order number, the seal number, what item number is either damaged, short, refused, or over, and also the quantity of those. And there are fields available to fill those in. If you have troubles, you don't have enough room in the field, you can always send a Qualcomm message to your manager. They can forward it to Glenna, or you're welcome to call, or again, send a text or an email. But the more and better information you provide us, and with a copy of that bill of lading, it gives us a great chance to do our job properly. And thank you for taking care of that moving forward. Next, we'd like to talk about our compliance, safety, and accountability scores. We talk about this every time we get together. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration provides a CSA score for all carriers as well as all drivers. And we know the importance of getting good roadside inspections, not having accidents, in order to get these scores up and have a positive score that allows us to get better insurance rates and secure more customers and more freight for us to haul. About 1/3 of the violations that we've received over the last 2 years are related to maintenance, and a large portion of the maintenance is related to brakes. So we would like to encourage you to continue to do good checks on your brakes, on your tractors and trailers. Make sure we're working hard to do good pre-trip inspections, and make sure we're properly prepared before we hit the road. Also, if you have anything that needs attention, make sure that you're doing a good vehicle inspection report for the shops, so the shops can get on those issues and make sure they are making the corrections and repairs that'll help us get a good solid roadside inspection when you're stopped along the highway. Just so you know, for Howell's Motor Freight, believe it or not, Tennessee is the state we have for the most roadside inspections. I know that would be surprising because we don't even have a facility in Tennessee, but we do pass through there quite a bit. Our second highest number of inspections comes from the state of South Carolina. Tennessee, we've had 25 over the last 12 months. So let's make sure we're doing a good job being prepared when we go through Tennessee. Tennessee seems to be more active, seems to be more willing to take the time to pull drivers off and inspect the vehicles. And that's a place where we can help ourselves if we know we're ready and prepared when we're traveling through Tennessee. So again, remember, good pre-trip inspections, good post-trip inspections, good vehicle inspection reports to the shop of any items that need repaired. And thank you again for doing a great job overall. Again, our CSA scores are excellent compared to other carriers in our grouping, and it's helping us to, again, grow our customer base and also lower our violation rate, which are good things when it comes to time for insurance renewal. Let's talk about a particular type of accident that occurs quite often, and those are backing accidents. Typically, a truck driver will spend less than 1% of their time in reverse, and I know you all are aware of that. But yet, backing accidents account for 22.4% of the accidents that occur in the trucking industry. These accidents many times aren't real serious, but they do result in downtime for a piece of equipment, downtime for the drivers not being able to run. There's repair costs, and sometimes we lose service on freight to a customer. The length of a tractor trailer obviously makes it difficult to see what's going on behind you. The area is blocked. You don't know what could be there, if any cars have pulled up behind you, obstructing your path. And most of the time in all backing accidents, the truck driver will be found at fault. Many times we don't feel we are, but they're certainly going to take advantage of those opportunities to blame the truck driver. And so we want to be aware of that and make sure we're always readily prepared when performing a backing maneuver. Make sure all your mirrors are in good place. Make sure they're in good condition and clean where you can see. Make sure your warning lights are working properly, your flashers. That helps alert somebody that you may be backing up. Turn your radio off if you happen to have it on so you can hear any activity that might be going on behind you. Honk the horn. Use the horn as an alarm to alert somebody you might be backing up. If you're going into a dock or whatnot, make sure your doors are open and you got plenty of room on both sides when backing in. These are some small things we can do that can really help us reduce our backing accidents. Another common backing accident is when we're on a highway and maybe we've turned down the wrong street or the wrong road. We feel like we can back up and make a correction. That usually does not end well. Once you've committed and made the turn, I do realize it's difficult sometimes to find a place that's safe to turn around. But please utilize anything you can to try to find a better place at the end of the street. If there's a way to get through to another road, anything at all that would keep you from making that backing maneuver that could lead to an accident for you. Let's talk about injuries, on-the-job injuries and working safely. There's a number of injuries that can happen when you're working around your rig. A lot of things going on. The first one we'd like to talk about is entering and exiting your cab. Sounds like a simple function. Shouldn't be much problem with that, but we do have issues with sometimes people falling and getting hurt. Always remember to use the 3-point of contact when you're exiting your tractor, when you're entering your tractor. Always make sure when you're exiting that you're coming out backwards with that 3-point of contact. The 3-point of contact will allow you to protect yourself. Maybe your foot slips, maybe your hand slips, but if you have the 3 points, there's a high likelihood you'll still be able to catch yourself and protect yourself, preventing a serious fall. There have been people in the past, trucking companies fall out of their truck, hurt their backs, hit their heads on the pavement, can result in a very serious injury. And injuries are important to us at Howell's Motor Freight. We obviously don't want you getting hurt, but also you've got people at home that are counting on you, and they want to make sure you're in good health and that when you come home you can go about your normal activities, whether that be going out to eat, taking care of things around the house, whatever it might be. So please make sure you use the 3-point of contact at all times. Another item that goes along with that is releasing your fifth wheel. Sometimes it's easy to reach up under there and you pull and strain too hard and you can hurt your arm or shoulder. So it's very important that when you're releasing your fifth wheel, you're properly prepared. Again, position yourself properly with your body and make sure that you've got your tractor parked properly and release pressure as best you can off of the kingpin so that when you make the pull to make the release, it will not jam or hold up on you and cause you to exert extra force that could injure your body. We want to make sure we're doing everything we can to help you work safe in all areas and maintain a good, safe work environment for you. Well, thank you very much. That takes care of our safety topics for today. We're going to hand this off now to some other individuals. They're going to speak to you about some maintenance issues that are very important, as well as some new tractors we have coming on board. So please stay tuned to hear that, and we'll get back with you shortly.
Hi, my name is George Boone. I'm excited about my new role as Director of Maintenance at Howell's Motor Freight. Our goal here in the maintenance department is to properly maintain and service our equipment to maximize uptime and keep our drivers safe.
Hey, this is Chad from Howell's Motor. I'd like to introduce you to Robert Crawford. He's going to show you some things about these brand new trucks that we're putting in the fleet this year.
The 2020 International LT. We're happy and very proud to have 40 of them this year, plus many 19 models from last year. And so some of the things that are about these that I'm like and proud to have here at our shop are the 826 engine rated over 400 horsepower. There are many features about this that are great for drivers. We've got high mounted hood mirrors on all of our equipment. We've got great visibility, accessibility, and a lot of features that are improved from previous international models, one of which being a new reinforced DPF tank and a fill nozzle that's a lot easier and friendlier on the drivers. Two 120-gallon fuel tanks gives us a safe cruise range of about 1,200 miles per fill up. Storage and usability. Got a nice little storage area on this side. Howell Motor Freight, we provide you with safety gear for spill kits. Of course, everything's equipped with safety DOT required devices. We've got tow hooks and all kinds of room for storage inside. New and improved air lines for you guys that have used the coiled in the past, plus glide hand extensions. And we also have incorporated or integrated antennas. No more of those antennas snapping off the mirrors from low-hanging trees. True live axles. International features breakaway rear mud flaps. All of them are equipped with backup beepers. And one of the nicest things that we've got that we're proud to have are integrated APUs on all of our new LT models. And all of our trucks are retrofitted with solar panels to reduce engine starting, so you can get a nice, peaceful, easy sleep like we would want you to do, be ready for work in the morning. Another key feature for safety and to help out our drivers is International's equipped all of our LT trucks with a lamp check function. And it's just as simple as hitting a button. Once you do that, it'll test every light, truck and trailer if you're coupled, and every light system. For driver comfort, the ergonomics of the 2020 LTs are great. It's got a fully telescopic and adjustable steering wheel, fully adjustable air ride seat, lumbar support. Man, you can set yourself up any way you want in this thing, and it's great. And it also helps that they've improved the instrument panel on this model, and you have all kinds of setups that you can customize to your preferences, plus lighting controls second to none. Along with the adjustable steering column, International has integrated its controls into the steering wheel, which helps you enjoy and control the Bluetooth upgraded stereo that was installed in 2020. All of our LT trucks going forward this year are going to be coming out with their new 5G capable IVG, the latest model Omnitrax unit. All of our LT models are equipped with automatic transmissions with an ergonomic, easy to operate shifter. It's just a twist and go. Second gear, neutral, and it also comes with a 3-stage Jake brake on the same handle, position 1, 2, and 3, and it really gives you an edge out on the highway to have everything at just your fingertips to control the speed of your vehicle. Hey man, I'm a full-grown man, and one of the things about their new LT models is the room. I've got an improved 42-inch mattress platform. Each driver gets a new mattress. We've got TV racks, mounts. We've got an improved control panel for your APU, for your driver comfort, cup holders, side visibility, cabinet storage, and I could lay down right now and go to sleep. One of the most important deals that we have as a truck driver is to visually inspect and make sure before coupling to a trailer that we've checked all of our basics. One of the things you should always do before coupling is make sure your window's down. Having that window down gives you extra hearing ability in case someone is in between or there's something abnormal that's close or stuck between you and the truck. The next thing you should do is visually inspect clearance of your fifth wheel to the trailer. So let's do that real quick. From this angle, you can clearly see that your frame rails are going to clear the apron of the trailer. And you can also get a sense of the clearance in your fifth wheel. So that is a key thing to do. If you don't do that, you can impact the rear of your truck or frame rails with the trailer, causing damage to both. If it's the opposite way, you can actually go under and the kingpin can miss your fifth wheel altogether, impacting your cab or causing damage, or in the worst case, you'll be stuck underneath the truck or trailer. You should never back under a trailer with a damaged landing gear. So to do that is a real quick, easy step that every driver should do. Another key point is to never put your body between a truck and a trailer. If you're going to inspect a trailer beforehand, make sure your truck is parked out of the way to prevent a rollback to where you can be pinched. So safely, we would take this angle and kneel down and visually check our landing gear. What we're looking for is obvious damage or any signs of damage. Missing bolts, bent, broken welds, sand shoes, or any indication that the legs are compromised for their structural integrity. While I'm here, I'm also going to take a quick look at my kingpin and kingpin plate. If this kingpin plate's damaged, you don't want to couple to it. While I'm here, take advantage of make every move count. I can also see my fuel tank is mounted and secure and my straps aren't broken. So now that I'm confident I'm going to clear the trailer, the landing gear is safe and secure, I'm going to go ahead and couple. Makes sense. Always check the simple stuff. See this drawbar? It is in the outward position. A lot of drivers will attempt to hook, pull forward, and try to continue to couple, and with no success because they've actually tripped their arm. So it's a real quick, easy check. Make sure it's in the open position before coupling. For those drivers that are comfortable or have more experience in the automatics, you'll notice that I've kind of hit that kingpin a little bit hard. That's a characteristic of these automatics that requires some skill from our drivers to kind of know that sweet spot and not to hit as hard as that I did in that particular case. I'd also like to point out a correct tug test. So if you noticed, I pulled forward, but I didn't drag the landing gear of the trailer forward, and that's critical. These trailers, particularly with their candy loads, are really heavy, so an excessive tug test or pulling that trailer forward can actually damage your landing gear. The next step here, and I'll point out again that my window was down, that even though that I hit harder than I would like to have, I still audibly heard the drawbar engage. It's a distinct clicking metallic noise that I could hear and only hear with my window down. Before I go any further, I want to drop down again, and I'm going to check my fifth wheel and apron so that I do not have any free space. And what I mean by that is I don't see any light between the kingpin plate and fifth wheel. Let's visually inspect our fifth wheel jaws. And it usually works best with a flashlight. You want to visually inspect your kingpin jaws fully engaged. It's important to watch your head clearance and safety and make sure your landing gear is down. You never want to be under your trailer if your landing gear is in the up position. Every driver has their own unique way or system so that you don't miss a step. Regardless of which system you use, whether you do it from rear to front, front to rear, you should always get in a routine to where it prevents you from skipping a step. Something as basic as hooking up your airlines, you can forget if you're distracted or something has disturbed your normal routine. But now that I've done all the regular checks, I'm confident I can raise the landing gear and continue coupling this trailer and continue my pre-trip. Proper body angle. It's important. Take a look at the ground. I've got ice and all kinds of other things that are a hazard. It's cold. One of the most common things in the trucking is a back injury. So proper body position and proper method's key. So all of our trailers, they vary. Some are counterclockwise, some are, clockwise, some are counterclockwise. Sometimes the handle's on the other side, but regardless of its location, it's the same tactics you should use. So firmly support so that you don't injure your back, both hands, and you crank until your landing gear is the utmost position. While we're here, I'll take a moment to show you some of the other guys that'll stand like this, crank. Well, I could hurt my back, I could slip, or you'll see the finger twirl guys that do this. Well, I'm not saying that that's not going to get the job done, but what happens if your fingers get caught here, or your hand slips, or something like that? Now you've injured yourself for no reason. So just take the time to do it the right way. So, all the way to the up position, and I come back just enough so that I can properly stow my handle. Then, of course, we would continue with our airlines and light check. As a truck driver, you need to make every move count. It's important that you have the correct color hose at the correct position and that your light cord is in good condition. And when your airlines are connected, they are not dragging or in a position where they can contact the catwalk. I'm sure people's opinions would vary, but I would say this concludes a successful coupling done the correct way, or at least in the safest manner. So after our coupling portion, I would like to stress how important uncoupling is. Uncoupling probably is just as important, or not probably, is more important than the coupling, although both are equal. One of the things that you really need to be sure of before you exit your truck is that you have your brakes engaged. You want to a good driver should never have a doubt that their brakes aren't engaged. The new Internationals actually have a warning that if your brakes aren't set, it will honk the horn. But just take that one step before getting out and ensure that your brakes are engaged. Now that we've in position, we're not going to drop this trailer until we've surveyed the area. Am I in a pothole? Am I on a nice secure area? Are my landing gear, are the legs in a good solid position? If I had one landing gear over a big pothole and the other not, I would choose to back it away to both legs are on even level surface. Most of our shippers and receivers will have a concrete pad. Some are dirt lots. Here at our motor pool, we have a concrete strip. And if you'll take a look at the angle, both legs are in line to make sure that they're both on a level surface. Since I've done that, I'm confident. I'm going to go ahead and drop this trailer. Step one, before coupling, make sure your trailer is secured. So we want to lower the landing gear. So I have lowered this until I felt tension on the handle. Different ways to do it depending on how level your ground is. I like to go one more. Now I felt constant tension, back off, and drop the handle. Now that we've done that, in the proper body position, we'll pull our drawbar. Left hand here, legs braced, grab firmly, and give a pull. After that, remember to uncouple your airline. This is important and where most people get injured. Proper body position and support, you should always take that into account. If you're in a hurry, cold, you could slip off, hurt yourself, slip and fall. So just take that time to make sure you're good and firm, both hands. And there you go. Take that time right now to store your lines so that they can't get tangled up in your drive tires or any other obstacle. Never assume, always verify. Sit down, I've got my drawbar pulled, my legs are secure, the lines are uncoupled, I'm supported well, and now I'll go ahead and uncouple from the trailer. Verify, check your mirrors, foot on the brake, disengage your truck brakes, load gear, and the thing most people forget, two different ways to do this. I like to creep forward slightly, just there, and suspension dump. We'll highlight that later. The correct way, by the way that I've dropped them legs, is now that I hit my suspension dump, it'll lower that trailer nice and smoothly to the ground, and that'll prevent the trailer from dropping a few inches or pushing what you call a shove. If you don't do this right and go to pull forward and you have too much clearance on those gears, it can actually, on those landing legs, it can push you out from underneath it like a rocket. So now that I've done that, I'll wait for the suspension to settle. I'll go ahead and pull out from underneath the trailer. Perfect. Put the transmission back in neutral. Inflate your airbags. Set your brakes and get out and check one last time before rolling away. What if you left a tool or your gloves or something back there? And there you go. And let's take one quick moment to look at this fifth wheel angle again. It's almost exactly as it was when we first pulled up to the trailer in the other video. Doing this method and being consistent fleet-wide prevents other drivers from having that high hook phenomenon. If I were to turn that handle an additional 4 times, well, the next guy that comes in that might have a different tire size may not catch what we did or follow the same procedure, and you know, doing this consistent will prevent another driver from having an incident.
Well, thanks everyone. We appreciate all that good information to pass out. Thank you for participating today, and we hope you all have learned something from those speakers. To finish up today, I want to talk to you about 2 more things. One is our recruiting and sign-on bonuses. I want to make sure that everyone's aware of those. We have a new $2,400 sign-on bonus for new hires. We certainly want that to be advertised. If you know people that are interested in coming to work for us driving, please make a referral. We'll be glad to talk to them about the new bonus. And also there is a referral bonus to you if we are able to hire somebody and bring them on board. We also have a new bonus in place for mechanics, both in Roanoke, Cloverdale, Virginia, and in Charlotte. That's a bonus if we can bring on a good mechanic to help us in our shops. So please remember that as well, and make sure you're letting any mechanics you may know that we do have a sign-on bonus available, and we'd be glad to talk to them about that. or we can connect them with George Boone in the shop, who will be happy to go over those details with him. In closing today, as always, we're very thankful for all our employees here at Howell's Motor Freight. It takes everybody to make our company run, from drivers to clerical staff and dock workers, people in the office. And we're very thankful for everyone that's working here, participating, working hard to do a good job and helping Howell's Motor Freight move forward as we go into 2021. As far as safety goes, I did want to remind everybody though, if only the safety department is doing safety, then we've probably got a big problem. The safety department alone cannot keep us safe and keep a safe working environment. It's incumbent upon each and every one of us. Safety should be in everyone's hands, not just mine, not just somebody else's, but each one of us needs to take personal responsibility and ownership for safety. So please remember that every day. Keep it in your hands. Do what you can to help others if they need it. And we look forward to a great year ahead with each and every one of you at Howell's Motor Freight. Thank you.